Good day everyone, my name is Delegations from CAD GIS. On our today's lecture, I'll be talking on the usage of layers in AutoCAD and giving a clear explanation of the importance of layer in AutoCAD. Then let us get started. I'm going to launch my AutoCAD software now. It's launching. It has finished launching. Then, previously, on our last tutorial on usage of tools in AutoCAD, there was an environment which I used to explain the tools of AutoCAD. But now today, I won't be creating any new environment. I will go into my folder to check for the file of AutoCAD of last tutorial. Yes, this is where we stopped on our usage of AutoCAD tools. Then today lecture we'll be discussing on the use of layer. What's a layer? What does it mean? And why is it so important if someone is creating or drafting within the AutoCAD environment? Why must we use layer? Layer is an identity given to each features within AutoCAD environment that will make up a design or a draft. For example, now let me clean this. Let us say we want to create our layer now. The first thing you need to do is that my last lecture I was using AutoCAD classes as an explanation. What we're going to do is that you can see the icon of a layer here. Just click on it. Once you click on it, it's going to bring out a dialog. Now this is the dialog that you'll be seeing. In this dialog, let us imagine that I will advise you now to use your mouse, put the icon on the dialog, hold on your left key. Once you hold on your left key, drag it to any side you wish, but I would prefer it to be at this left side, so that then if anytime I want to use it, I can minimize it here. If I need it, I will just drag my mouse to the left hand side, so that for me now to use it. Then what we now just to do now is that back to on our today lecture. Then like I said earlier on, a layer is an identity given to each features that will make up of a design or a drafting. Then for you now to make a layer now, one thing you just have to know is that before you can create a layer, you must know what you want to do. For example, now if you are creating a floor plan, for a floor plan now, there are many components that make a floor plan. For example, now you will need a window, the door, breaking wall, the partition wall, the arc, the etc. based on what you want to do. Then the most advisable thing to do is that you have to create layer for each of these features that I mentioned. For example, now layer helps to manipulate faster in AutoCAD, and that's the best way for you to do it. If you are working in AutoCAD or if you are designing any other thing in AutoCAD, the best thing for you before you can get started is once you set your AutoCAD environment, the next thing you should do is setting the layer. Setting the layer, because some time might come you might need a particular feature. Then if you don't set your layer, you may find it difficult because you have not created a layer to each of the feature that makes up your design. But if you have already set a layer for your design, then if you don't need specific features, you can just off it and on it, so that it helps to manipulate design. Then like I said earlier on, if you bring out your layer property manager, the first thing you're going to see is that you see this 0. This 0 means a default layer created by the AutoCAD by itself. This is what you are using. Anything you are trying to do now. Now if you try to draw any line now, you are using a default layer. Your default layer is only be those one you use. You see, as I'm drawing this line, I'm using a default layer. A default layer for the work. Then one thing you just have to know is that let us say that we are going to have a rectangle, a square, a circle, then an arc, an ellipse. Let me use these 5 types of shapes for my explanation. Then I will be creating each layer for each of these shapes. Let's now get started now. What you just have to do is that, for example, now all these layers you are seeing here are drawn on a default layer, because the default layer is the layer that is created by AutoCAD by itself. For you now to assign each of these shapes to their layer now, or to their specific name, what you just have to do now, you now make use of layer. Then click on the layer property. Once you click on layer property, you can see a new layer, or you press Alt N for you to create a new layer. Once you click on this, you will be able to name the layer you want to create. For example, now I want to create a square. Then I will just put a square shape. Then I will just put square. I will name it as a square. Then once I do that, I will go to the color to set the type of color I want the square to look like. And if I prefer red, I will click on red and press OK. Then I will still go to the continuation line. Then under the continuation line, then if you need any other thing in the continuation line, like now, if this line you are seeing is not good for you, just click on the load. Once you click on the node, you can see different types of lines. You can see. Then if you want for you now to hide everything, just right click and select all. Once you select all, then press OK. Once you press OK, it will ask you the one or more selected line type will be loaded. What do you want to do? Just say skip the loading and rename selected line type. Once you do that, now press OK. Then pressing OK now, then what you just have to know, is that initially we are still maintaining the type of line we are using, which is continuous line. A continuous line is a default line type that is created by AutoCAD by itself. Then what you just have to do now, you now select the type of line you wish here. If you wish this one, you can see the name now, the length, the types of the line type, the appearance and description. Then just choose anyone you like. Let me say I go for this. Then once you go for this, press OK. Once you press OK, then you can also change the line weight. Once you click on the line weight, to bring a dialog for you to select the type of line weight that you wish. Just click anyone you like. Then let me choose 0.04 millimeter line weight. The transparency, the purpose of this transparency is just to show the lightness of the line you want to use. Then if you like more to be advisable for you to leave it in 0, because if you just wish to increase or make any number here, it might affect your last product, which means like if you are printing. Then once you do that continuously, this is how you'll be creating your layer. Then I'm going to create, I will name this, which is a circle. Go the same way, the way I did it. Then I'll choose a color for this one. Start choosing a color. Then the line type, I'll prefer to go with this. Okay. Then the line width, I will prefer to go to another one. Okay. Then create another one by clicking on new again. Then create another one clicking on new again. Then if you do that one, you can create an ellipse. Once you create an ellipse, change the property of the color to your suitable color type you wish. Then if you do that, click on the line type, choose the one that you wish again. Once you do that, click on also the type of the line weight that you wish to use. And once you just do that, then just do it the way you like it, the way it is. But I will give you an advice that a town planner now, if you are trying to create a neighborhood design, you know that you have already know the category of things that you need there. For example, now you will need things like the landscape features, things like the road, things like the building, things like the drainage system. As you are naming it, as the team has its name, I will advise you to use name for each of these features that is going to make your maps. Now another thing is that if you are an architect, like I said earlier on, that you know that you are going to create a window, like if you are doing your elevation plan, you know that you have a window, a door, and the fascia, the roof. I will advise you to create each of these name features based on the name given to them, so that you just be categorizing each of these features to a specific name. That's how you will do it. Then let me also go, I've already made an hack. Then change color of the property, then the line type to your own preferable one, then the line width to your home preferable one. Well, let me just say that, let me just use this 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 types of layers. Then another thing is that if you wish to delete any layer, that if you created any layer that you don't like, but one thing is this one is applied, the easier way for you to delete is you make sure that it's not assigned to any property, because if it is assigned to any property, you'll be able to delete it. But if you make any mistake in your creating of your layer, what you just have to do is, before you assign it to any shape or any feature within the AutoCAD environment, what you just have to delete it before you assign it. But because if you assign it immediately, if you want to delete it after you have already assigned it to a particular feature, you won't be able to delete. Then let me now go back to back to the screen of the AutoCAD. As you can see now, there's the square shape that we created. Then you come here, click on the either you can change from here, from the layer, by assigning it to the layer you want it to be, the name of the layer you want it to be, or you come here from the main layer property, so that you will be able to assign the shape or the feature that you created to the specific name layer. Then like, for example, now it is a square. I've already created this square shape. Then for you now to see, because I've already set the line width of the square shape, was because I've not on it here. Now for you now to on it here, you can see it here. Come down to the below of your system, you can see show or splash hide line width. You see, if I click on it, you can see. Then the same thing goes to the circle. Assign the circle to its own name of the layer. You can see now it's blue. Then another thing, if you hack, assigning to the name of the layer and hack, then the ellipse and assigning to the name of the layer. You see, this is the how to create a layer and how to assign a layer to features in AutoCAD. But however, then let me now say that I've created all these 5 types of layer. This one is the default layer, which is 0. Then this one is the square layer. This one is the circle layer, this one is the arc layer, and this one is an ellipse layer. Maybe if I'm designing it, I don't need this circle layer, and then for me not just to delete like this, I don't need to delete. What I will just do is that I will just switch it off from the layer property. Then for me now to switch it off, now I'll just look for the name of the layer that I've already created, which I mean the layer that I wanted to switch off, by clicking on the circle. You can see now it has disappeared. Being disappeared doesn't mean that the thing is not there again, but it just switch it up that you won't be able to use it within that time. Within the time you don't need it again. But if you still need it in the future, just go back in and on it. However, if you on this turn up layer of this bulb, this symbol that look like a bulb, or this one, any one of it you use, but it is also it's on hide the layer. Then let me say now I want to hide the hack. You see, you can't find the hack again. Then in a situation like because one of the things is that you won't be able to delete the default layer. It's not possible because it is created by AutoCAD by itself. Let me try it and see now. You see, I wanted to try to delete the default layer, you see, because the default layer have already been assigned to a specific feature within the AutoCAD environment. See what the instruction that gave me. It said the selected layer was not deleted. The following layer cannot be deleted. Why? You see, these are the rules as why the thing is not going to be deleted. Then that's why I say that it will be very difficult. But if you haven't, for example, say let me delete this now. Then let me now go here and delete it. You see, I won't be able to delete it because it's a default layer. Then another thing is that let me say this one now, this one which is our circle layer. Let me delete our circle shape. When I deleted it now, I've deleted it. Then let me now come to this layer of the circle and delete it. You see, it is easier to delete because the reason why it is because it's not the default layer, because I was the one that created it. That's the reason why it was easier to delete. The other thing is that I've already deleted the layer, the picture that the layer belongs to within the AutoCAD. That's the reason why it was able to delete. But let me return it back. Then this is the circle shape now. Then let me just imagine of deleting the circle shape now. You see what it's going to tell me now. You see, You see, the same thing that he told me when I was trying to delete the fourth layer. Thank you for watching. This is all what we have for layer lecture today. Bye for now. I still remain my name, Akwe Olusesan.